Hi everyone. So there is a link between abortion and capital punishment that can make the difference between supporting it or not in some situations. So if we consider capital punishment a little bit like a post-birth abortion, it can help us to support capital punishment, at least for some people. Of course, there's other things to take into consideration, but just think about this. Think about all the abortions that happen every year. And yet, a lot of people automatically condemn capital punishment in any cases without any questioning. So those that were aborted had a potential, right? We don't have any information about them, but they had a potential and they could have become useful for society. And yet, we have information about some of those criminals. Some of them have committed terrible things, like some rapes or even murder. Just think about it. And even with this information, a lot of people don't support capital punishment. They don't even question it, like I said. And we do have this information that if we will release them, and a lot of them are, they can cause terrible things in the world. But because they are bigger, okay, than a fetus, for example, and they have emotions, it becomes much harder to support their execution. But just think about it. I think that in some cases, it will probably be preferable for humanity to support capital punishment over the alternative. It can be very dangerous sometimes because some of those people, like I said, are released after a certain amount of time, even prematurely. And people don't think enough about that. If we think about it seriously, of course, this is something that will have to be evaluated very seriously. And like I said, there's other things that we have to take into consideration, like the cost or the capacity of prisons, because there's a lot of prisons, especially in the US, that are at maximum capacity, even more than that. And this is definitely a factor that has to be taken into consideration in some cases of some criminals that are good candidate for capital punishment. Maybe if we think about the link that I just mentioned, it's going to help us to accept it. And it will be maybe better to do it. Of course, unfortunately, some of those criminals were abused when they were kids. Okay, so it can make it harder to support capital punishment. We can feel it can be much harder. We can have more compassion for them, and this is maybe there could be some exceptions, but like I said, we have to look at all those things, make sure that we don't make mistakes, or at least too many mistakes, but So I hope that we are going to have a serious debate in society about that, because that's an extremely important topic. And people don't necessarily have a good understanding of this situation and this topic. So obviously there's a lot more arguments on both sides, but I just wanted you to be aware of this important link between abortion and capital punishment. So thanks for watching, and see you in another video.